The very last thing we need to do is to head over to our Firebase dashboard, and under the database tab, remember that when we first set up our cloud Firestore, we set some rules that pretty much allowed anybody to read and write into our database. Now, as Firebase warns you, it says that your security rules are pretty lax, basically. And if you click on Learn More, it actually takes you to the documentation page on how to define Cloud Firestore security rules. And you can look through this documentation to see what kind of level of security you want for your documentation. So, for example, you could have a database where nobody can read and write under any condition. Well, that's not going to be very useful for us. And at the moment, what we have is pretty much allowing anybody to write and read to our database, which is a bit too insecure. So what we're going to choose is make sure that only authorized users, so users who are logged in and registered, can actually access all our documents and read and write their messages to the database. So to change it over, we're going to go ahead and copy all of this code, and we're going to replace our current lax rules with the new rules. So we're going to select everything in here and delete it, and then we're going to replace it with what we copied over. So this allows read and write access only if they have a user ID, namely they are already authenticated and we can see them as one of our users. And once you're ready, go ahead and click Publish to make these rules go live, and you'll see that our warnings, etc., go away. Now, to test it, there's even a really handy simulator. So, for example, you can say that I'm going to try and get some data out of my Cloud Firestore, and we can define a path to our document under Documents/Messages. And we can check that if this request is coming from somebody who's not authenticated, trying to access our messages collection, what happens. And you can see that it tells us it fails, right? Doesn't let us read from our database. And if we change that to maybe say create, which is basically a write request, you can see it also gets blocked. Unless we check the authenticated marker and we go ahead and add one of those emails that we'd already authenticated and registered as one of our users. And now if I click run, then you'll see that read is now allowed, and so will write as well. So now that our rules are live for our database, then we don't have to worry about some randos accessing it. And with that, we've now completed our Flash Chat app. So that's it. That's all for the Flash Chat app. And I hope you had fun making this app, and I hope you'll be building your own apps using Firebase, Cloud Firestore, and authentication. There's so much more that you can explore. So take advantage of the documentation and what you learn in this module. And I look forward to seeing all of your amazing creations on Twitter under the hashtag #FlutterBrew.